What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tully Television. And today we're going to be doing an episode of Book of Boba Fett, Episode 3, The Streets of Mos Espa. But before we get into all that, I want to thank you all for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing, hitting all on that subscribe bar if you didn't hit it yet. And then next to it is a little bell notification, and you're going to hit all on that, okay? So you never miss an episode of, Tully Television over here. We also are going to leave a description to our bonfire account down below so you can maybe take a look at our merch and see if you like anything. And any purchases goes towards the advancement of our channel with trying to get better equipment and what have you. So yeah, check those out as well. Well, let's get into it. Boba Fett Episode 3, The Streets of Mos Espa. Directed by Robert Rodriguez and written by John Favreau. Um, this had a lot more characters in it than the previous two episodes. Uh, Maru Morrison as Boba Fett, Ming Na Wen as Fancy Shand, Matt Berry as the voice of 88 the droid, Stephen Root, Lartha Peel. Some of you might know him better from Office Space. Oh, the red stapler. They took my red stapler. Sophia Thatcher as Jarash. Jordan Bolger as Scad. Scad. Um, Carrie Jones as Black Chrysanthemum. He's that actor that is in the Wookiee suit. Uh, Danny Trejo as Trejo as the Rancor Keeper when Machete kills again. Uh, I had a running joke with someone back in the day when the Machete movies were out, and we were just thinking of ridiculous. Machete kills again, and Machete kills the trees, and Machete kills the environment, and uh, but brought chuckles to ourselves. Xavier Jimenez as the Tuscan chieftain, Joanne Bennett as the Tuscan warrior, Wesley Kimmel as the Tuscan child, Phil Lamar as the Pike boss, and David Pasquesi as Mock Jazz's major domo, basically his right hand man. Um, now we Uh, this episode is a mixed bag for me. I have been loving the season so far, and this particular episode might have hit a couple of snags for me that are making me like, like I'm defending you. Stop. It's like when you're defending your child to the mother a little bit, like, oh come on, let him do it. He's not so bad. And meanwhile, he's like setting fire to the house. It's like I never mind that. You certainly a couple of things in this episode where things were definitely showing up that people were making people not want to watch this show from the beginning, and it's a shame because the first two episodes have been really stellar, solid for the most part, in my opinion. But I can understand the criticisms of this episode specifically. But let's start off with let's start off with how the episode was initially starting. We had Stephen Root's character come in, uh, Lartha Peel, all right, and he was saying how if he wants to take control of the streets, he has to kind of get down there and start cleaning it up a little bit, and gets into what his problems are. And supposedly there's a gang there that is stealing water from him because of the water supply being so limited on Tatooine. Uh, what Larth Appeal does is he buys water in bulk and then sells smaller packaged water for a higher price and makes his money that way. Just think of it as buying a kilo and then you're adding um, what I call fluff, to stretch out the key. You know what I mean. Come on now. This video ain't for kids, man. So similar concept with the water here. And so Bobo decides to go down to the city of Mos Espa. It's broken up into different sections because when Bib Fortuna took over for Jabba the Hutt, he instead of him being strong, he divvied up some of the properties with the three leading gangs of Mos Espa, and he gets a cut of what's going on. But it probably was not the cut that Jabba was getting, because Jabba was smarter at running this business. So it prompted Boba Fett to go down with Shand and his little, two little pig warriors, so to speak, pigmen warriors. And they come across the gang that's been harassing him. Um, Drash and Scad and a couple other uh, characters that they have like cybernetic attachments to them. Um, Smart idea, but kind of came off a little eh, for me particularly because they're talking about how there's no work down there and this and that, um, and that he's just another one that doesn't care about nothing. If they're not working, how are they having nice shiny? Uh, I don't want to cycles. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna call them cycles, hover cycles. Why are they looking so nice if they're not really working there? How are they affording their cybernetic attachments? Give me a break. They're working down there. They just don't want to chip in, so to speak. But Boba Fett basically convinces them at this point to work for him. And Alorth Appeal comes out and he's like, well, they owe me money and this and that. And Bobo hands him like half the amount they owe him. And he was like, this is the compensation for them stealing and for me taking them off your hands. You get half. And accept it, or if you don't accept it, we can, you know, you know, you now, you know. So he accepts it, goes away, and that's the last we've seen of Larth Appeal at the moment for this episode. Then, when we get back to Jabba's palace, we see, um, you know, in the bantha bath again. He loves his bantha baths. Yeah, it must be really so wonderful to be in. Um, but before I get into what happens as he's trying to take his bantha bath, I'm going to bring us back to the Tuscan, the Tuscan village, and we see uh, Boba Fett going to um, the Pike Syndicate boss and asking him, uh, to pay tribute to the Tuscans and stuff. And he was like, "Well, we pay tribute to the other people that are claiming later that land, so we can't um, pay tribute to two different people. We're not going to pay it out twice when we can only pay out once." and it's been the Cycle Gang from the first two episodes where we see them spray painting a symbol. What that symbol is actually the letter K in the language of the Huts, and that's the, their version of the letter K. And so, um, little side note: most people are thinking that that's like a little dig at Kathleen Kennedy. Um, that John Favreau is now in charge of, secretly in charge instead of Kathleen Kennedy. That's why they chose the letters KK. I don't know, go deal with that as you will, but supposedly there was a civil war in Lucasfilm, a power struggle, and some were taking that spray painting of the letter KK is an indicator that John and Dave Filoni shots fired against Kathleen Kennedy, so to speak, and that they're in charge now. Let me know what you think about that down below. Interesting theory, though. Interesting theory. I have to shout out this channel called Overlord DVD for that theory. Um, but yeah, he goes and is told that they're paying out twice. So if Boba Fett can eliminate these other people, then yeah, we'll pay tribute to you. As he comes back to the Tuscan village, uh, very sad to announce that the whole Tuscan village was burnt down, and everyone that lived in that village was no longer in the land of the living. And we see again the spray painting of the letters on one of the burnt out tents. Um, Not a one survived. Um, if you can remember Anakin, the woman, the children, all of them. That's how it was, and we're gonna um go back to why this is all gonna connect back to the Pike Syndicate because now I'm gonna go back to when Bobo was in his. Ooh, I'm excited. We're gonna go back to Bobo Fett in the Bantha Bath, and then we see Black Chrysanthemum. Hope I'm saying that right. Um, the Wookiee bounty hunter come and drag him out of the Bantha Bath and start like beating Boba Fett's ass. Okay, he's beating his ass. Like you hear him bear hugging him and bones cracking, and I don't know how Boba recovered like that because it was. And I have to give mad credit to Tamaru Morrison. He looks really great. You could tell he put a lot of effort into sculpting his body for this role. But yeah, I don't know how he recovered like that. Okay, and that's when the gang he hired came in and started helping kick ass back. But this Wookiee would not go down. This was like 4 or 5 people like coming at him, like, and a couple of them were fighting him at the same time. So it wasn't like, all right, I'm gonna fight one, and then the other one's gonna come in, and you're gonna, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like the standard. There's 100 soldiers against one, and but only one attacks at a time. No, there was like 2 or 3 attacking at some moments at a time, and I mean he was getting like daggers in the back. He was getting sliced. He was getting diced. Um, and then finally they were able to get him over uh, the trap door where they keep the old Rancor, and even still, then he's hanging on, screaming until Shand shoots an arrow or something in his hand, or like just shoots his hand to let go, and he's out now in the Rancor cage trapped. And for all that trouble just to trap him, I can only imagine what it would be like a fight to the death, put it that. And this was kind of like a fight to the death because if you didn't cage him in somewhere, I don't know how many of you would have been taken out in the meantime. And then not too long after that, we see the twin huts that we've been seeing in the last couple of episodes, the last episode. And they're saying that we apologize for sending Black Chrysanthemum to you, and you can keep him as tribute as part of our apology. We're going to be leaving Tatooine because we were told that we were lied to. We were promised this, but it's actually promised to somebody else, and we're not interested in getting into a war because war costs money, and we want our money, and we're not looking to lose it in an effort that could maybe we could still lose. So we're leaving Tatooine and going back up to their, home planet, where the Huts come from. And so I have a feeling that we may not be seeing the Huts, at least to maybe season finale, maybe. I don't think that this is going to be the last time we see them. I just don't know if now they're going to be concentrating on them as the major villain, and I'll tell you why now. Um, The mayor had promised that territory to the Pike Syndicate, uh, the very same people that told Boba Fett from the beginning, well, if you eliminate this group of people, we'll pay you the tribute instead. And I'm starting to think that the Pike Syndicate purposely sent those people to destroy the village and not have to worry about, or at least told them the same thing that I'm not paying you guys tribute if these people are claiming tribute too, someone's going to have to eliminate somebody, and these guys wound up taking care of the village first before Bobo could do anything. And now it seems like the Pike Syndicate are the real masterminds behind the assassination attempt, behind the Huts trying to, using the Huts to try to take out Boba Fett as well. And now it's coming into light that the Pike Syndicate is probably the real masterminds behind this whole thing. Um, the Huts leave. Boba Fett releases Black Chrysanthemum. He's looking at Boba Fett like, yeah, like after I just try to kill you, you guys, and he's like, go, just go, and he goes taking off. It was a little funny the way he was running off, like such a badass Wookiee bounty hunter, but is running off. Uh, I find humor in strange things, guys. I'm sorry. Um, but so that's basically leading up to Bobo sending one of these new gang members that he hired, and he calls in through like a hologram call, and he's like, "Yeah, there's just a huge ship coming in, and it's full of Pike syndicates members." And Bobo was like, "Well, just hang tight, keep an eye out." And he's like, "Well, I'm sorry about that because he has a cybernetic eye." And he was like, "I didn't mean it like that." And the guy was like, "No, no, no, I know what you meant. I'll keep an eye out for them." So I laughed at that. He was very self-aware, like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll keep an eye out." And that's where we basically end the episode. The Pike Syndicate landing and is probably getting ready to want to take over the territory from Bobo. They're tired of this. Um, Downfalls of the episode is I'm not I'm not so on this gang he hired because it does kind of seem like uh, a Power Rangers group, like find me teens with attitudes, and I can understand that that joke. Uh, I find it funny that they're not working, but they do have nice shiny uh, cycles, hover cycles, whatever you want to call them. So I can understand. It kind of does take away a little bit uh, from because then they all have different colored ones. It's not all like all of them are red or all of them are like pink or red or what, blue or whatever. They're all different colors, and that gets to help uh, tell who they are, help separate them. But yeah, you can't help but to think of Power Rangers a little bit, or Voltron, or something like that. Um, just teenagers in multicolored vehicles, so you can tell them apart. Um, this the highlight for me was the black chrysanthemum. I'll keep want to say chrysanthemum, the flower, and I can't even say that right. Black chrysanthemum. That fight with him, I would say, was for me the highlight of the episode, and it's kind of why I'm not doing this episode on a lower rating. This will get the lowest rating for me for the season, with a 7 out of 10 for this episode. But in the season overall, I'm still at an 8 out of 10. I'm hoping that I can boost that score up to a 9 out of 10 by the end of the season. I still have faith in this show. I will admit that this episode was a little bit more memeable, so to speak. Not sure how I feel about the gang he hired. I would definitely have hired a more gristle group of people, but I understand they're trying to reach out to the youths, and I guess is how you do it. I would have, and it doesn't matter about like women, not women in the group. I would have hired just like a gristled group of people, and I would have had women in there because if you look at, say, Harry Potter, Bellatrix she was badass. You know what I mean? So it's not about women can't be badasses, because I find Bellatrix from the Harry Potter movies to be a badass character. Like you don't want to fuck with her, and that's what I want to come. That's what I want coming across, because Boba Fett is someone you're not supposed to fuck with. Wu-Tang Clan ain't not to fuck with. And I want that to come across. But um, we can't always get what we want. So that's why I'm putting this episode as a 7 out of 10. Um, season is an 8 out of 10 so far. I still have faith that's gonna get up there to an 8.59 for me. I'm hoping. But yeah, let me know what your favorite part of Book of Boba Fett has been so far. Let me know how you feel about episode 3 down below. Don't forget to subscribe. If it's red, hit that, man. Hit the all on the bell notification, man. Let's get this sub count out, man. Let's get it up. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. That is my thoughts about Book of Boba Fett episode 3. And until next time, peace.